And welcome back, everybody. It is yet again another episode of your favorite podcast, Tales from Helheim.
Yeah, boy.
And if we're not your favorite, then I'm
fuck
sad.
you.
Yeah.
Going real Ricky Bobby there, fucking right out the gate.
If you don't shoot Big Red, then fuck you.
Yeah, we're going real balls to the wall on this one.
Life's a garden. Dig it.
Oh no, you just go Joe Dirte?
I did. Yeah, you like them spinning tires.
Alrighty, man. So what do we have on board today?
So today we're doing a place that is, well, a topic that is near and dear to the heart. And that would be...
Oatmeal.
Yes. hey, it's protein oatmeal, fucker.
Yeah.
We are doing some of the most haunted places. Well, mine is in the U.S.
And mine is in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what are we doing? 3 each?
Well, you have...
I have 4.
Yeah, and yours are a little smaller, so if you want to do that. And then I'm doing 2 myself. One is kind of a semi-small one, but the other one has a lot of history that I'm going to read through.
See, so we even out at 6.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Alrighty, my dude. You ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Do we got a copyright strike for that?
No, because we're singing it and the instrumentals are way off and the vocals on my end are horrible, so we're good.
All right.
Tarzan boy, baby. Tarzan boy.
I still want to find that guy who makes that fucking cover, or it's just a piano cover of it, so we can see if we can fucking license that.
I wonder if we could find someone to make a horror version of it. Like a scary version of Tarzan boy.
Yeah, I like the way you think. All right.
We'll make it happen. Stino.
Oh, no. He's just going to rap over it. I'm the lion. All right, bud. We should get him to do that fucking The Lion Sleeps Tonight, but just him rap over it.
Yes, it's a must-do.
Alrighty. So
let's hear what you got, my boy.
All right, so like I said, I have 4 of them from Mexico. The first one is La Casa de Momias de Guanajuato. So what that translates into, I'm not going to be able to give you translations for everything, but whatever I can, I will. That translates to the House of Mummies.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay, so in the center of the city of Guanajuato, one of the world's most eccentric museums exists, the House of Mummies. It houses an...
You're good, man.
It houses an eerie collection of accidental mummies. Yeah, I see your face on that one.
How in the fuck do you have an accidental mummy? Like, okay. How does that happen?
So let me explain that to you. I also have that research for you, baby boy.
Yeah.
The bodies were discovered in a local cemetery, which had a unique combination of mineral-rich soil and extremely dry climate, and that triggered the mummification process, according to locals.
So, without knowing, they turned a graveyard into a giant fucking mummification center.
Exactly.
I mean, that's kind of cool, though, in a way.
I know, that's crazy, like, what the thing that the Egyptians accomplished by, like years and years and years of, like, practice and that, you guys accidentally did.
We did it in a fortnight.
It's like, all right, cool, I guess we have a bunch of fucking mummies now.
So what do they say they see there?
Okay, so according to locals and tourists, the mummies are known to move, whisper, and even weep.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy. But if the mummies are underground, how do they know that they weep?
So the way that they're set up is they're inside a building, and it's like a museum.
Oh,
so they have them all. Yeah, they have them all propped up, and you go around the museum and shit, and then they're just standing up there.
That's pretty trippy.
The terrifying thing is if you like go and you look at like pictures of this, the majority of the mummies look like they're screaming.
Oh god, that's horrible.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking scary. They had like a little baby mummy. I was like,
oh Jesus.
Yeah, it looked like a little baby monkey mummy. It's fucking hilarious.
That's crazy.
Like what's that fucking monkey that's like a zombie? The Pirates of the Caribbean. You remember the first one where they're like?
I've never really watched them. I couldn't get into them.
Ah, you bastard!
I'm not about that butt pirate life.
Yes, you are. You're a booty pirate.
That's all fucking crazy, man. Mr. Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, no, but in the first one, there's like a fucking monkey that's like a zombie, and then like there's a part where like it does like a weird scream. But that's what the little baby mummy looks like.
Oh, goodness. That's horrible.
So
poor little baby.
Yeah, so I think they said that they had like 157 mummies with, I think, 54 of them on display right now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and it's like a main like attraction down Guanajuato.
That's pretty interesting.
But they've been there for a while. I think it was like 85 where they fucking found all that shit. I can't remember if it was either 53 or 85 when they found them all. But I mean, they've been there for a while because I remember there's a... Do you remember that Mexican wrestler El Santos?
Yeah.
So he was more of like a... Not just a wrestler. He was like a superhero in his own right. So he had like comic books and movies.
Right.
And one of the movies was El Santos versus La Momia de Guanajuato, which is basically one of the mummies from there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm going to find it, but it's like really fucking old in Spanish. I'll find it. I'll translate it for you so you can watch it.
I'll just see if I can add it to the server.
Oh, yeah, dude. And I don't remember what I think there's another one. It's El Santos versus El Santos y Mantequilla Nápoles, which was the boxer that used to come out. They were like buddies and shit. Like, it was a boxer that used to come out in the movies with him, but he was a real life boxer.
Yeah.
And they're fighting La Llorona in one of them.
Oh,
I remember
God.
that's the one I watched because I've only seen one that my dad had, and it was that one. I was like, that's fucking interesting as shit. I'm gonna see if you can find it so you can watch it with your wife. It's gonna bring back some memories.
Oh, God. Oh, God. All right, what is your next one, kind sir?
The next one is Posada del Sol, Mexico City. So that one doesn't
Something
really...
of the sun?
Yeah, Posada would be...
Penis.
No, it's more like a fountain, I want to say. Or no, it's a pozo. I'm not sure what Posada translates to, but something of the sun, yeah.
See, I know some Mexican.
I speak some burrito. And that's okay for me to say I'm Mexican.
Well, so am I. Half.
Yeah.
I just don't look it. Motherfuckers can't tell.
You goddamn chimichanga.
I know.
All right. The next one I have is Posada del Sol, Mexico City. It's an abandoned graffiti-ridden hotel, which was the personal project of a businessman, Fernando Saldana Galvan. So legend states that he ended up hanging himself in like the courtyard of the hotel.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, because of he did it because he was in overwhelming debt just off the fucking hotel. Yeah, so that's fucking crazy. Also, in one of the underground chambers, which is already terrifying because it has underground chambers.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I wasn't able to find any information on why it has underground chambers, but it does. So in one of the underground chambers, it said it's haunted the spirit of a little girl that they found her body in the hotel.
Oh, God. What the fuck?
Yeah. So the hotel, it's close to the public. Like, you can't do tours there. You can't do shit, but people still break in, like, based off of all the graffiti and shit. And everybody who goes, they take an offering that they leave at an altar that was made to the girl. Yeah.
I wonder what happens if you go and you don't leave an offering.
You get cursed, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, so that's fucking... I don't know, man. I found that one interesting because it's not really scary or like super haunted. It's just the one little girl.
Right.
But I thought that would be interesting and put it on the list so people can like research it further. The dude, he was like a leading businessman in Mexico City. Like, he had money. But the hotel, like, it just fucking drowned him in debt and he ended up just fucking killing himself.
That's kind of fucked up. Like, why wouldn't you just wait and see how successful the hotel is? The other thing that I
honestly don't think he would have had enough money to complete the hotel. He just sunk his money in it.
The other thing I wonder about is why they have it blocked off to people.
I mean, I think that's more of like a liability thing. I think that's just like they don't want people getting hurt. Just like any abandoned building, they'll have it closed off.
True.
Yeah, they don't want people going in there getting hurt and then be like, I'm going to sue you guys.
Because that's everybody's thing nowadays is to sue.
Fucking pansies.
All right, so now that we're done talking about some fucking pansies that won't let us into their spot.
Motherfuckers.
How dare you?
Motherfuckers. So I have two left, and these next two are kind of weird. I'm wondering, because my next one is like a really gruesome one, but I kind of want to save that one because I got more information on it, so I'm going to do that one last. Let me just jump to the next one.
And what might this one be? Drum roll, please.
You have the little drum thing. Do it. Hit it.
Drum roll, please.
Nah.
Yeah.
You just rickroll me?
Maybe.
So my next one is Panteón de Belén, Guadalajara.
Okay.
So this one is a cemetery.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the cemetery, they say that it's like actually like a paranormal hotspot. Like it's more than just what I'm about to read off.
Right.
But this is the main one.
Okay.
Like I've seen like other people go and investigate this place. Like it's real big. It's like famous. And I remember I was watching just a little background filler.
Yeah.
I was watching a show. It's called Relatos de Ultratumba, which I don't know how to translate that. That's too much Spanish for me. But
something of the tomb.
Ultra Tomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on this one, it said that there's a girl that like she's crying at like her fucking tombstone. So they're going around. The team's going around looking for him, and they end up seeing like this lady crying at a grave, and the guy calls out to her. The guy calls out to her, and he's like, "Hey, friend, are you okay?" And the fucking thing turns, and it's got like no facial features whatsoever. It's just like long black hair and a white dress.
Oh no.
Yeah, and as soon as like it turns, it starts getting up and like starts like going after them and shit. And they hear howling from all around them. There was no howling before. Like it was completely quiet. It was just them, and they're running. They're going, "Oh fuck, oh fuck." And they end up just losing it. Like they're running and they're like crying and shit. And they turn back and there's nothing there. But the howling's getting closer. It's like circling them.
No, Diablo, no.
Monito, no.
Shout out to Daddy Fat Sacks.
Yeah, so the howling is like surrounding them now. So they're like, we're just gonna fucking leave. But that's a really good show if you can ever fucking find it. But it was like one of those Spanish channel shows that comes out like once a week
at
like
1 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. It wasn't 1 o'clock. It was like 10, I want to say. Because I remember my sister and my older brother and me used to watch it. My mom would go to church on Wednesdays and she'd be like, "Let's go." I'm like, "You're out of your mind, dude. It's
I want to go to that place.
I'm like, "Shit, you're out of your mind, dude. It's fucking Relatos de Ultratumba night."
I want to go to that place, though.
Oh, yeah, no, you don't want to. I mean, you can, actually.
We should go.
All right, I might be down for this one.
We'll just have to plan a big trip because, at the moment, Mexico isn't the safest place.
It is not. No, it is not. So, the most famous story from this place is about actually a vampire. Huh. So, there was a vampire and it was terrorizing the little fucking village around there, the town.
Yeah.
And, like, fucking animals are coming up dead. People were claiming that they were, like, almost attacked and shit. And so, eventually, the townsfolk or the village folk, they hunted down the vampire and they staked them and they buried him in the cemetery there. But soon after, the cemetery slab, like, you know how they put like the cement slab on top so people won't break in?
Right.
It started cracking and like breaking open, and out from where they left the fucking, what's it called? The stake. Yeah. They left it inside of the fucking supposed vampire, I don't know. But a tree started growing out from the stake. Yeah,
that's
like
kind of weird.
Yeah, like over a couple of nights, it was a giant fucking tree. Yeah, and it's out of the grave. But the people believe that if the tree, they call it the vampire tree. If the vampire tree, like anything happens to it, like it dies or like it gets cut down or anything, that the vampire is going to return. The tree's the only thing keeping it in there.
Okay, so kind of like what was that movie called? Ernest Scared Stupid with the trolls?
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah, there's a tree keeping a troll down and he ends up fucking up and allowing him to come back, but kind of that same premise. Yeah,
sort of like that. It would be the equivalent of like the salt ring for the fucking Winchesters.
Right.
Yeah, and Supernatural. So basically the tree they believe is the only thing keeping the vampire down and in the fucking grave.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's to the point where it's not just like it's not just the locals. I think that the authorities as well. Like they put up a metal gate around the tree so nobody can like touch the tree or harm the tree in any way. And you can actually tour the cemetery at night. You can buy tickets from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesdays to Saturday.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so they have like all night tours of the thing. I was like, I mean, I'd rather see a tree in the daytime, but sure.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing though is that apparition that they saw. Like, I want to see it.
Yeah, there's a couple of stuff though in that episode. They're like walking through the little. It's not a chapel. What is it called? Like the little like a little shrine.
Okay.
Like, do you know how they have them enclosed? Like, you ever seen one of those Mexican ones where it has like the Virgin Mary and that has like little metal, like a middle gate and then like little glass panel so you can look inside.
Yeah.
And it has like a little key thing and one person opens it and they can put like
Kinda
flowers
like
and
in,
candles. Yeah.
Coco.
Yeah. Basically like an altar, but smaller.
Right.
So they were walking past one and their cameras caught something. So they like, when we didn't see it when we were walking through, but during the camera reviews, like we caught it and it's it's a lady's face. She's like sitting inside of it and she just like turns and smiles at them and turns back and she's gone.
Oh God.
Yeah, but there's a couple like crazy shit. Like that show's like known for like extremely crazy shit. Like I always said, like ranking ghosts, it's like the scariest is probably like Japanese ghost and then Mexican ghost and then like white ghost, I guess.
Well, I mean, in Japanese ghosts, a lot of their stuff has to do with like curses and all kinds of like bad shit like that. So it makes sense that theirs are absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, because it's always like a vivid face. It's never like, oh, slightly blurred face. It's always like fucking face right there looking at you.
Full fucking body of someone just fucking right in front of you.
Yeah, not so much the body. It's more like legs, face, like ominous. But like Mexican ghost, it's just the body. It's like usually never the face.
Yeah.
And white ghost is just like sounds and like moving shit around.
Or like a translucent apparition.
A trans boy apparition?
Yep. Those transpirations.
The translucent boys?
Yeah. Bring the old back.
Yeah, but I hate that laugh. I like that laugh. Yeah, no, but I want to see an Irish ghost. Like, what the fuck would that be?
We'll be back after a quick break.
Are you a huge cunt?
Us too. Wait, can we even say cunt?
Of course! It's empowering these days. Cunt, 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 cunt. I'm Ange Ballastone, aka the drag queen, That Girl Gina.
And I'm Mike Fales, just a normal gay guy, I guess?
And we're the hosts of The Big Cunty Couch.
A gorgeous new talk show podcast where we invite queers and peers to sit, bitch, and be fierce on a huge-ass couch.
While we gab about all things gay.
So come get cozy.
And cunty.
With us. We're panned for platforms, so find us anywhere online and get listening, sweetie.
Or watching.
Or both.
Otherwise, why the hell am I in full drag?
And we'll see you on the big... Oh, wait. I thought we were going to say that together.
No. On the Big Cunty Couch. Mwah.
I don't know, man. Being their like history and stuff, I could see them being as terrifying as Japanese ghosts.
Yeah, dude, they got some dark shit. But yeah, no, that's the fucking cemetery one where they, I mean, that's crazy. That kind of reminds me of. Do you remember those fucking books, the scary books that they had for in elementary? They're like
Goosebumps.
No, they were actually scary.
Was it the
fucking
scary stories to tell in the dark?
Yes.
What's funny is I have that movie on Plex. You got to watch it,
dude. I literally watched it last night.
So good.
I was watching. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Do you know they're making a second one?
Oh shit. Well, I mean, they have a shit ton of stories. Those stories were always awesome.
Yeah, because they used like 4 or 5 in this first one. I was like, that's pretty cool. I thought they were gonna do them like every story was like one fucking. Like they go through story, but I like how they had it like all as one big story with like little stories peppered in.
Yeah, it was good.
Like,
I remember those.
Yeah,
books.
like if Netflix would ever to pick it up, I think like one story an episode would be fucking sick.
Yeah, that could be very cool, very unique to do.
Yeah, but I think it's from either the second or the third book that they have that story, The Window.
Yeah.
You remember that, or do you want me to retell it?
I mean, I remember it. I would say about 65% of it.
Okay, so I'll give you a synopsis of it. So there was basically this lady, well, a girl, I guess. I think she was like a teenager or some shit.
Yeah.
And she was living with her brothers, and they all had their own rooms, and then hers was like the closest to the window. And every night she would see something like outside of her window, like peering in. It's just like little yellow eyes.
Yeah.
And she'd see it in the distance. It would be like running around and shit, and she'd see it, and every night it would get slightly closer. So eventually one night it was like right at her window, and it started like trying to open the window, like shake it and like try to pry it open to get into it, to get to where she's at.
Right.
And she screamed, and her brothers came out with a gun, and they fucking chased it off, and they shot it, and it hit the fucking ankle, or not the ankle, the calf.
Yeah.
And it left a trail of blood, and they were following the blood, but they eventually lost it in the cemetery. So the next day, they started opening up all the fucking coffins to try to find like where the blood pour was coming. And they opened up a coffin where it was like supposedly the date was like 100 years back that he died.
Right.
But he looked brand new, like fresh corpse. And then he had like blood around his mouth. And then they checked his ankle, and it had the bullet still in the fucking ankle. So they burned it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but that's kind of what that reminds me of. Like, oh shit, we gotta fucking stake this motherfucker.
Yeah, leave that shit in there.
Yeah, it's crazy though, but that's what that reminded me of. All right, my boy. So I got one more.
All right, let's see what you got.
So this one is part haunting, part possession.
Ooh, all right.
One part haunting, one part possession.
Two
one
parts
part
happiness.
child. All right. So the last one I have is Claudia Mincano's house in Querétaro. It took me a second. It always takes me a second to be able to read Spanish.
It's all good, man. It
Yeah.
happens. You're trying, you're doing, you're
Yeah.
succeeding.
My brain has like a weird like transitional period from like reading Spanish to reading English.
Right.
So it's just it's in Querétaro. So I have a little bit written down, but then I also read more on it, and it is fucked up, dude.
Oh, God. So we're at the 3 parts haunting,
It's
one part haunting, 1 part possession, 1 part kid, and 1 part absolute fucking dread.
I thought you said absolute vodka. I was like, yes.
He got drunk
Sponsor
and
us.
thought he was possessed. Yes. Sponsor us, absolute. Actually, sponsor us whiskey.
Whiskey, aviator gin.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's this shit I'll have to show you that my buddy got for our event. It was pretty damn good. Went down nice and smooth.
Yeah.
But let's see what this possession, haunting, ghost, kid thing, demon has for
Okay.
us.
So
Remember, it's a kid, so it's a demon.
sort of, maybe. Okay, so this is the only one where I can think that it's probably not a demon. It's probably like an actual just child.
Okay.
So on this one, it's regarded actually as one of the most disturbing stories in the country.
Oh, wow.
So it's about Claudia Mijangos. I'm gonna just call her Claudia because I'm not gonna fucking waste my time pronouncing her last name. So they claim, so she killed her 3 children and claimed to have been possessed by a demon.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so the whole story is that she actually worked in the church. Like, she married this guy and they moved to Querétaro. And the guy was real well off because his parents had passed away and he had gained their inheritance. So he was able to like have like a good life with them, and the kids were able to attend like a Catholic school where she worked actually.
Damn trust fund babies.
Yeah. And so what ended up happening was that she was not all there. But this is like 1950 something.
Right.
So they didn't really diagnose it too well. No, actually, it wasn't 50 something. It was like 80 something, because I'll get to it right now. So yeah, it was like 80 something. So turns out she was kind of crazy and whatnot, and her husband were arguing all the time, and the neighbors were hearing it, but then nobody was ever saying shit.
Yeah.
And then after that, she ends up starting an affair with another teacher at the school that does like the Catholicism classes.
Oh, no.
No, the catechism classes, sorry. So he's like he's sort of priest, like a deacon, I guess would be the best way to.
I mean, I think they're all still technically like holy
fucking
figures.
diddlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a holy figure. So he,
A holy diddler.
yeah. So she ended up starting an affair with him, and then her and her husband start going through the process of like divorce and whatnot. And one night, her husband comes back, and so she thinks she's being real discreet with the affair, but she really isn't. So the head like priest there ends up telling her husband like, hey, this is what's going on, you didn't hear it from me, is like your wife's fucking the deacon or something like that. And so he goes one night and he takes the kids to like one of their catechism classes
Right.
without her, and then he comes back because at this point they're living in separate houses now, like they're going through the process of being divorced. So he goes and he confronts her about it, like, hey, I know you're fucking the deacon and all that, but I still want to try to like fix our marriage. And she doesn't deny it. She like defends, she's trying to defend their love or some shit.
Okay.
And then she's like, I don't want to be back with you. So he ends up leaving, and then she tells him, you're going to live to regret this.
You dirty scrub.
Yeah, so she ends up putting the kids to bed, and then she goes to bed, but around like, I want to say like 4 a.m, she wakes up and calls one of her friends, and she starts telling like, I'm having like dreams about like angels and demons. And they're saying like one of the other Mexican cities has fallen. I think they said Monterrey has fallen. And that Querétaro is like a spirit now. Like everybody's dead and we're spirits.
Oh, God.
So her friend told her to relax and calm down, that she was going to go visit her in the morning, that just to go to bed and it's going to be fine. So she doesn't go to bed. What she ends up doing is she goes downstairs, she grabs 3 knives, and she goes to, I believe, her son's room first. Her son's, I believe, is 6.
Okay.
So he's sleeping, and she grabs one of the knives and leans over like the bed, and she grabs, I believe, his left arm, and she just fucking amputates him. She fucking cuts his arm off. He starts screaming in pain, and this wakes up I believe the oldest daughter, which she's like 11, and she runs into the room to see what's going on, and she sees her little brother's bleeding out, and her mom's like stabbing him and shit, and fucking he dies.
Oh, Jesus, that's fucked up.
So she, like, the girl's like, leave him alone. Like, what are you doing to him? And then she turns around and she fucking starts stabbing her.
Oh,
and
God.
She stabs her, I believe, 12 times. And then she's like trying to, like, she gets away. And she's like shouting, and that's what alerted the neighbors. So the neighbors call the police, but Claudia, she goes and she finds the oldest daughter, and she fucking kills her. Like, she fucking just ends it, and then she drags her into the master bedroom where she was sleeping and just lays down on the bed. Then she goes back into the other daughter's room where she's still sleeping. She kills her, and then she drags her into the master bedroom, and she just lays down next to him and falls asleep. Yeah.
What the fuck?
So when the cops get there, they get her and they arrest her, and they take her to like the interrogator, see what the fuck happened. And then they arrest her husband as well, because they believe that he's the one that did all this shit. And then they're interrogating her, and then they're asking like, why'd you do this? And the only thing she's saying is, you guys have to let me go. I have to go pick up my kids from school. So they're like asking the father, like, what happened? He's like, did you do any of this? And he's like, no. And then he starts explaining that she's not all there, that she's having an affair with like the priest, or not the priest, the bishop. I mean, the dean or the deacon, whatever the fuck his name is.
His holy anus.
Yeah. And then, so then they end up sentencing her to, I believe, 29 to 30. I think it's like 30 years that they gave her for all 3 murders, because that's like the most you can convict somebody of triple murder in Mexico, I guess.
Fucking lame.
Yeah, and I believe she just got out like 2019. But they didn't like fully release her. She served a third of her sentence in a mental institute.
Yeah.
And when her sentence was up, they told her that her sentence is up, but she can't leave. They're going to keep her in the mental institute until somebody signs to like release her, and that they're going to vouch for her and they're going to take care of her.
Yeah.
But as of right now, nobody has fucking done that. Like, nobody wants to fucking try to handle that. I mean, you killed your 3 kids, dude.
So are they saying she was maybe possessed?
No, that's what she's saying. She says she was possessed by a demon, and that's why she killed the kids. But the haunting part, ready? It's in the house. The neighbors say they can still hear the children screaming. And on the first floor, they can see a little boy who's like bleeding out. Like on the second floor, he's like walking around. They can see him. Which, I mean, wouldn't it be crazy for that if that was his ghost? Because, like I said, he got fucking amputated. She cut his arm off, dude.
Yeah, it's fucked up. She deserves to die the same way.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think they're gonna just keep her there in the fucking mental asylum because I don't think anybody's gonna want to fucking sign and vouch for her.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When it comes to kids, like anything like that, to me, it's like if you're gonna do that to a defenseless fucking child, then you should have the same done to you.
Oh yeah.
So I think we need to go over there, take her arm off, and then just stab her like 3,900 times.
Yeah, that's super fucked up. But they said that like what caused her to start going crazy is that the deacon broke off like what they had because not only was he violating like her fucking marriage vows, he was like his own vows of like chastity and whatnot through the church. Like
his holy vows or whatever they call them of abstinence and all that shit.
Yeah, so that's why everybody's saying that she went crazy and shit. But those were my 4.
Well, she deserves what she's got.
Yes, sir. What you got, baby boy?
I have one of the biggest ones and one that we will be going to at some point.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This one is called Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Oh, no. I think we've covered this like 4 or 5 times, like vaguely covered it.
Yeah. So it opened in 1910 as a 2-story hospital to accommodate 40 to 50 tuberculosis patients.
It's always fucking tuberculosis.
I know, right? Well, in the 1900s, Jefferson County was ravaged by an outbreak of tuberculosis. It was so bad that they actually called it the White Plague, which is when they were like, no, we need a new hospital. Like this is not okay. Mm-hmm. So they did that, and then the hospital closed in 1961 due to the antibiotic drug streptomycin that lowered the need for such a hospital. Now they want to convert it into a hotel, but who knows? So that's just a brief overview.
Okay, so imagine fucking like getting the funding for like this giant, because I've seen it, it's fucking huge.
Oh, yeah.
Only to be closed down because they invented a pill.
I mean,
they said, fuck your jobs.
Shit like that happens, but think about it, people. There's some pills that people need that were, a couple bucks, and then people got greedy and they're like, haha, if you want to survive, $300 a fucking pill.
I remember that fucking kid who bought out, I think it's like medicine, was it for like cancer or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was some bullshit.
Yeah, so he ended up buying the fucking patent for the pill. The pill was originally like $5 of the fucking thing.
And then he ended up going to like $3,000.
Yeah, it was like 500 something. No, it might have been $3,000. He jumped it fucking high.
Yeah, it was something fucking ridiculous.
I know he got arrested for that or some shit.
Oh yeah, he got fucked, which he deserved because that's bullshit. Yeah. But so the land that is known today as Waverly Hill was purchased by Major Thomas H. Hayes in 1883 as the Hayes family home.
Wait, like to live there, like the.
Yeah. So that's what it was before.
Oh, okay. I thought he like bought the fucking sanitarium to fucking live there. I was like, you crazy son of a bitch.
No, but it was really far away from like schools or anything like that. So he decided to open a school for his daughters to attend. He started a 1-room schoolhouse on Pages Lane and hired Lizzie Lee Harris as the teacher. Now, she did have a fondness for Walter Scott. She named the schoolhouse Waverly School. Now, Major Hayes liked the beautiful or the peaceful sounding name, so he named the property Waverly Hill. Then the board of
Waverly Hills.
Yeah, that's where I want to be. Yeah.
No, I don't want to be.
Oh no, we do. But the Board of Tuberculosis Hospital kept the name when they bought the land and opened the sanatorium. It is not known exactly when the spelling changed to exclude the second E and became Waverly Hills. However, The spelling fluctuated between both spellings many times over the years. Now, the original sanatorium. So in early 1900s, Jefferson County, which is in Kentucky, was severely stricken with an outbreak of tuberculosis. There were many cases in Louisville at the time because of the wetlands along the Ohio River, which are perfect for the bacteria and are like, here, grow, bitch, grow. So to try and contain the disease, they just made a simple 2-story wooden sanatorium. It consisted of an administrative and main building and 2 open-air pavilions, each housing 20 patients for treatment. Now, in the early part of 1911, the city of Louisville began to make preparations to build a new city hospital, but the commissioners decided their plans that there would be no provision made in the new city hospital for the admission of pulmonary tuberculosis. So the Board of Tuberculosis Hospital was given $25,000 to erect a hospital for care of advanced cases of pulmonary tuberculosis.
Erect.
They erected the shit out of that.
Yeah. And they erected the fuck out of that wood.
Oh, yeah, they did. Then on August 31st of 1912, all tuberculosis patients from the city hospital were relocated to temporary tents on the grounds of Waverly Hills, pending the completion of the hospital.
Oh, they're camping.
Basically, in December of 1912, a hospital for the advanced cases opened up for treatment of another 40. In 1914, a children's pavilion was added, another 50 beds, making the known capacity around 130. The children's pavilion was not only for sick children, but children of patients that had tuberculosis who could not care for them, and they had no one to care for their kids. So it was kind of like a sick area and a daycare of sorts.
Yeah.
So now they did have a few expansions. Due to the constant need of repairs for the wooden structures, they needed more durable structures as well as more beds. So they ended up kind of doing a construction of a 5-story building that could hold more than 400 patients. And that began in March 1924. The new building opened on October 17th, 1926. But after that pill was, brought into fruition after 43, the number of cases gradually lowered, and there was no need for such a large hospital. The remaining patients were sent to Hazelwood Sanatorium in Louisville, and Waverly Hills closed in June 1961.
So what was the name of that the sanatorium that they sent him to after Waverly Hills?
After Waverly Hills was Hazelwood in Louisville.
They just sound so fucking evil.
Yeah, they do. Something out of a horror movie.
Yeah. Hazelwood.
So they then had some expansions, which were like Woodhaven Medical Services.
I'm telling you, none of these sound any fucking better. They all sound evil.
Trust me, it gets better.
Oh, my God.
So the building was reopened in 1962 as Woodhaven Geriatric Center, a nursing home, primarily treating aging patients with various stages of dementia and mobility limits, as well as severely mentally handicapped.
So is that like just the fucking go-to? Anything that's a sanatorium gets turned into a fucking
an
old folks home? That sounds so fucked up. Like, people had tuberculosis here. We're just gonna put the elderly. Make it a fucking daycare.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids.
No. But however, this place failed because it was severely understaffed and overcrowded. So they had a lot of reports of patient neglect and was closed by the state in 1982. Then it was prison. Simpsonville developer J. Clifford Todd bought the hospital in 1983 for $3,005,000. He and the architect Milton Thompson wanted to convert it to a minimum security prison for the state, but developers dropped the plan after neighbors protested. So they then proposed to convert it into apartments, but they counted on Jefferson Fiscal Court to buy around 140 acres from them for $400,000. There was also a statue added. So they had plans to construct the tallest statue of Jesus on site,
Oh, it's terrifying.
along with an arts and worship center. The statue, which was inspired by the famous Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, the open palm one? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So it was that would have been designed by local sculptor Ed Hamilton and architect Jasper Ward. The first phase of development came in at $4 million. Would have been a statue of 150 feet tall and 150 feet wide, situated on the roof of the sanatorium. The second phase would have been to convert the old sanatorium into a chapel, theater, and gift shop at $8 million more. So $12 million for that. The plan to construct the religious icon fell through because donations to the project fell short of expectations. In a period of a year, they were only able to get $3,000. So it was canceled in 97.
Yeah.
Now, one of the bigger parts is the tunnel.
Oh, no.
So if I remember right, let's see, before I get into my notes and reading, if I remember right, it's how they transported the dead bodies. Was through this tunnel.
Yeah, I would assume you'd have a tunnel. I don't think you want to fucking just be walking around the other sick people like it's a fucking hot plate at a restaurant. Hot plate.
Yeah.
Carrying like that fucking, what is it? The fucking Sizzler fajita plate where it's just the fucking skillet.
It'd be like the fucking old school days. Bring out your dad. Ringing the bell. So this tunnel was the entrance and exit for workers of the sanatorium. It was built on the first floor with the rest of the building. The corridor is 500 feet to the bottom of the hill and has a set of stairs on one side, which the stairs were used for the workers. On the other side, there was a cart that moved up and down the staircase, which transported supplies and other necessities. Since antibiotics did not exist at the time when the sanatorium was active, other forms of aid were used to treat, TB patients. For example, heat lamps, fresh air, positive talk, and reassurance helped keep patients alive, since the death rate of TB was at that time 1 death per day.
Ooh.
However, at the peak of the disease, the sight of the dead being carried away in full view of the patients lowered patient morale. Therefore, the sanatorium tried transporting the dead bodies as secretively as possible to increase the morale of the death rates, using the tunnel to that end. The doctors and workers of this time also believed that this would help lower the disease spreading rate. And now it is actually owned by private investigators that allow ghost hunters to go overnight, as well as ghost tours and things of that nature.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, that place is...
Aren't they trying to tear it down, though?
Some people were, but I don't think they're going to let it happen. I think they might try and revamp it maybe, but not let it go down.
Where is this at again?
That's in Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Yeah. Yeah, Waverly Hills is good old Kentucky.
Oh, shit.
So my next one...
Cucaracha.
Yes, how did you know? So, it's a cemetery. For some reason... Where the hell did it go? There it is. So... This is Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. Ooh. It's a small cemetery in a forest on the outskirts of Chicago that has earned a reputation as the most haunted graveyard in the United States.
Okay, let's run that back. It's a cemetery in a forest.
On the outskirts of Chicago.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
There's more than 100 documented sightings of ghosts, strange lights, or other suggestively supernatural episodes.
Man, fuck that.
During the 1950s, after an outbreak of vandalism at the remote site, several people claimed to have seen an entire phantom farmhouse shimmering above the graveyard, which receded as they approached it. Others say they have seen the ghost of a farmer and his plow horse who died when they were dragged to their death in a nearby pond.
What the fuck?
Some people driving on the roads near the cemetery at night have reported encounters with a phantom 1940s gangster-style car that appears on the road in front of them before turning off the road and disappearing.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Others claim to have crashed into the Phantom car at a sharp curve in the road, but after the shock had passed, there was no damage in no other car. So imagine everything of a crash, but it's not really there.
Damn, Phantom crash.
Yeah. Actually, I have a story on that happened when I was younger by my parents' house. We were out biking.
Yeah.
And we see like a Bronco and a car racing up the road. And all of a sudden we hear just like the screeching of tires and then like twisting of metal.
Yeah.
And we look back, and it was my cousin and myself. We look back and we see this Bronco just fucking rolling like probably 15 times. And it lands on its roof. And we start going back, and then we're like, fuck no, we need to go tell, my parents.
Yeah.
So we start biking down, and we tell them what we saw, and they're like, are you sure? Because we didn't hear anything. We go back out, nothing. Nothing on the road, nothing at all.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So I can relate to that. In 1991, the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper ran a celebrated photograph taken by a visitor to the graveyard showing what appeared to be a semi-transparent form of a woman in an old-fashioned dress sitting on a gravestone. The photographer, as part of a paranormal research team, claimed that the woman was not visible when the photograph was taken.
I don't know about that.
The figure in the photograph has become known as the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove and may be linked to the legend of the White Lady, the ghost of a woman buried next to her young child, who is said to walk through the graveyard on nights with a full moon with the infant wrapped in her arms.
How do we know it's an infant, not a loaf of bread?
How do we know
these are the questions I want to know.
How do we know it's not the devil?
No, we weren't going there.
But yeah, so those are my two. I know the Waverly Hills one was a long one.
So my main concern here, my main problem with the last story, is to get to this cemetery that's inside a forest on the edge of Chicago. You have to go through Chicago itself. Man, fuck that. I don't want to go through Chirac. That's fucking insane. I think that's the scariest part of the whole story.
As long as you don't stop, even at a red light, you're good.
Yeah, don't make eye contact. And they say, hey, don't I know you? You say no when you drive away.
We'll just take our coworker with us. We'll be fine. We'll tell her she doesn't have to experience the haunted shit. Just get us through Chicago alive.
Man, I'll do the fucking cemetery happily if I fucking don't have to go through fucking Chirac or fucking... I don't want to get shot.
Well, there you go, guys. There are our haunted places.
Spit it out.
Today, Junior. So, please, as normal, we love any sort of reviews that we have. We have one that we've seen. There might be more out there, but if you can, that's one way to get us out there and help us be discovered by, new people. Besides sharing a link, is leave us a review. Also, if you can leave a comment, let me know. Do you like the weird voice I do, or can I talk in my normal voice? Just because sometimes this is hard to do for hours on end.
Yeah. Especially when we do the fucking...
investigations.
Yeah, or we do we'll record 2-3 episodes, not to kill the magic, but sometimes stuff comes up and we'll have to pre-record.
Yeah.
So then we're sitting in here for up 2 to 3 hours just recording content for you guys.
Yeah, and
that's why I chose not to do. Yeah, that's why I chose not to do a voice. My voice is goofy as fuck, but so I was at least I don't have to do that, motherfucker.
Yeah, so if we could get at least one person to either join us on the Discord, in a comment, something, in a review, just let me know if I can let it go or keep it going.
No, you keep that going. That's your fucking thing. You keep that going. That's how you earn the name of the narrator.
We'll find out, my dude. We will find out.
All right, guys. Love you. We'll see you next time.